Tommy Invincible, what is up, brother?
Hey, man, meeting the fans. I know I'm getting a lot of love. It's truly an honor and a blessing what's going on. And thank you for being here. You're one of the best interviewers in this business.
Thank you. Now, speaking of that, we got to get you on the podcast.
Yeah, well, bring me on. You jabroni.
Whoa. Let everybody know
All
where
you
they
got to
can...
do is ask. I'm very available to everybody. Ask around.
All right, we'll get you on real soon. Let everybody know where they can follow you. I know you want to get to your fans.
At Tommy Invincible everywhere. Follow me or shame on you. We can all become invincible.
Hey, I'm Live Wire Charlie, and I'm Danger Ross, and we are Live Danger.
All right. Now, you guys were at the free-for-all recently.
We were.
And you are now part of Chosen Pro Wrestling. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I will see you there, of course, but how was it like to participate in the free-for-all?
Oh, it was great. We got a shot at those tag team titles, and we're going to be back. We're young, we're 23 years old, and we're hungry for those titles. So we got a whole lot of this, and we're using it to our advantage. We're hungry, we want it all, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to get to the top, baby.
All right, so Tiffany Avatar just lost the Goddesses of War championship, and I heard she went to, Lucky Leo's, to sulk in the candy stuff. So let's go see how she's going. What the hell? Tiffany, are you all right, Tiffany?
Is that my buddy?
What happened? You lost the title.
She poisoned my lollipop, smashed me over the head with it. I don't have my title anymore, buddy. I can't go home. I can't go to Candyland. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna lay with her, okay?
Oh, okay. All right, Tiff. All right. Man, that Amity, she's really tough. Wait, what? What the hell?
I just want to say that it was super rude of you to walk away from me earlier.
Talking to the New York State champion, you're going to have to pay up.
Do you take Kale?
Dude, goodbye.
Whip wreck, Cation, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No. You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about people.
Dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am Fearless Princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
Finisher is called the Shadow Ban, and I was like, that's kind of.
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great.
Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I am your host, Papa Dank, and before we start today, let me send out some get well wishes to Brittany Brooks, my pal Brittany Brooks, who has to go, unfortunately, ACL surgery. So we wish her a speedy recovery. All right, without further ado, let me bring to you my very special guest, the one, the only, Jadis Quinn. What's up?
How's it going, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's hot up here in Long Island, New York. How is it down where you are?
It's actually a pretty nice day out today. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's pretty nice. Can't complain.
All right, let's go through some. We're going to do like picture show and tell, all right? This
Love
is the first. There's a lot of pictures to go through, so
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good. Let's. It's a new feature that we're gonna do thanks to you and your first podcast appearance. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, never done one of these before. This is exciting.
This is awesome. What's up, Serena? And let's go into pics with Jadis.
All right.
Let's start off with this picture. What does this mean to you?
So this is me and my tag team partner in our first title defense. DCW has this little thing in Comic-Con, and what can I say? It was the beginning of Pride Month. We had a successful title defense against Cornelius, Nigel Carter, and what's his name? Chris the One. Yeah, pretty stiff competition, but we got the job done. Fun night, fun day. Hot as all can be, though.
Oh man! All right, next picture. What is
That's
going
the
on
one.
here?
That's the one getting slammed.
Slam dunk. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, what is going on here?
So that's Hollywood, Maryland. I was in a match with Austin Kingsley. And what can I say? I see a camera. I gotta show love.
That's okay. Let's show some love. All right, next picture. Oh, there it goes. Oh, is that who is that?
That's James Ellsworth.
I thought it was James Ellsworth.
Yeah. Gave him a good old. I don't even know how you talk about that. No, I mean it was a tag match. It was me and Amara Void actually. I'm sorry, not Gia. It was him and Holly Hood. I always say her name wrong. Holly Hood Haley J.
Holly Hood Haley J. Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. When I see an opportunity to twist a man's nipples, I take it. I can't help it. It's fun.
Nice. I love it. He probably deserved it.
Yeah, he was asking for it. He kind of was. Not gonna lie.
All right, tell me about this picture right here.
Oh, this is the entrance. Me and Gia. I'm sure at some point in these pictures there's gonna be more, but we had a match against Angelina Love and Psycho Boy Fodder. That was with MCW. Actually, just back in December. Probably one of the best matches I've ever had in my career. And Angelina Love and Psycho Boy Fodder. Yeah, see, there they go.
There we go.
Great people. They are great people. It was such an honor working with them. It was such an honor meeting Angelina, and them Botox injections are no joke. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's on Premier Streaming Network?
Yes, it is. Yeah. That's all over YouTube. It's on Premier Streaming Network. There's a couple different links on YouTube to watch it. The match is out there, so go check that out.
All right, let's where's this thing over here?
Is there more?
Oh, yeah, there's more. I just want to plug our friends also on the Premier Streaming Network, Titan Championship Wrestling. We got Seaside Showdown coming up later on in August. Give a quick shout out to them. All right, what's going on here?
So that's the match. That's Psycho Boy Fodder. What can I say? I see opportunities to mess with a man. I take them. I can't help it. He's a big guy, so I don't really know how you really describe that. I'm just kind of throwing him around because
it looks like you're throwing him around.
Well, you got to do something. You got to win.
True. That's the name of the game, winning.
Exactly. And what I say, Botox injections are no joke.
Yikes.
Does not come to play when it comes to those kicks to the face.
That looks like it hurt. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, right in the jaw. I was hurting I think I was holding my jaw 2 days prior to that or after that. So yeah, they're no joke. Those are no joke.
No. All right. Looks like you're planting something on someone.
Yeah, so that would be Brian Idol.
That's Idol?
That's Idol. Great guy. Love him very much.
I know Idol.
So we worked 2 matches with MCW, and one was a mixed tag. It was me and Gia, and this was a 6-person tag. And over there is Natalia Markova, Lena Cross. On my team was Gia and Aggie Malibu.
Ivy. I know. I met Ivy.
Yeah, she's a great girl. She's real talented. We trained together for a little while, actually.
She's tiny, man. Like when I was standing next to her, I'm like, holy cow. Mighty. But she's fierce, yeah.
She is, very much so.
Honor
working with all those people. Honor working with them.
100%. I haven't seen her again up in the Northeast since that time she was at Titan.
Yeah, I haven't seen her since she came through Maryland, but I would love to work with her again. That was pleasant.
Awesome. Yeah, she's nice. What is why are you smiling here? Is that blood all over you?
Yeah, kinda. So obviously I do a lot of work with DCW. And this was when I won the No Limits Championship. I was around that time, I think that was around the time Bray Wyatt had passed away, and I wanted to start playing with personality gimmicks, kind of doing, 2 sides of Jadis. and that's kind of when I created the Spawn. And it for me, it was emotional because it was my first championship win, and it was also kind of my tribute to Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt is one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, that was one of the highlights of my entire career. So that's kind of why I shared that picture, because first title win, homage to Wyatt, first hardcore match. Well, one of my favorite hardcore matches I've had in the last year. But yeah, that was a very special moment.
What are your thoughts on the new Wyatt 6?
I have so many.
Before we continue, we got a couple more pictures, but I want to get your thoughts since you brought up Bray.
No, so I think that's I think that's phenomenal. I think they are carrying on the legacy of Bray Wyatt, and I think Bray Wyatt has such a cult following, and they're doing such a justice by giving us the Wyatt 6. And you know, all the people underneath the mask are just perfect for the roles, and it's great. I kind of did shed a little, like, I got a little emotional when when that whole segment happened.
Right.
It got me a little bit, because it's like I kind of thought that they were doing away with the whole Bray Wyatt thing and going away from the Fiend and all of that stuff, but WWE always has a fun way of surprising people who watch. So
okay. Yeah, man, I loved it too, man. I think
I loved it. It was great.
Great tribute, and also his brother leading the charge on that.
Absolutely, Bo Dallas is I don't know what's like allowed and what's not allowed in these podcasts, but like
you can say whatever you want.
But yeah, I think, like I said, Bo Dallas being, I don't even have words. It's just, it makes me happy to see that they're continuing that, because that whole era of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, and that whole, like, I call it like just the horror show of WWE. But that era was like, it was, I was such a fan of it. It was creative. It was something different. It was just something you don't see when you're watching wrestling. And I'm excited to see where that goes, to say the least.
Me too, man. 100%. All right, next picture. That's not Natalie Markova over there.
That picture right there is proof that I would be such a bad-ass Mortal Kombat character. I'm just saying, like,
I think so too, yeah.
I should be like a Mortal Kombat DLC at some point, because just that standoff alone, I'm sorry, it says so much.
We gotta do a petition for you.
Yes, let's do that petition. Jadis Quinn for Mortal Kombat. This is another reason. Look at me.
Look at that.
Finish him. I think that's into a pile of chairs. Yeah, so.
Is it really? Oh, yeah, it is a pile of chairs down there.
Yeah, what can I say? I can be a little hardcore sometimes.
I see. I can't tell who's on the receiving end of that, though.
So, that's Nikita.
Okay.
One of my rivals in DCW. Somebody I also kind of came up with in wrestling. I'll definitely shout that guy out. He's great. He's great in the ring. He's so talented. Very technical, very physical, and another guy who it was just a blessing to work with him, even though I was feeling that all week.
I bet.
Yeah.
Here's the Mist.
The Mist. Yeah, the Spawn of Jadis. You never know what they're gonna pull out of their sleeves, out of their trunks, out of the air. You don't know where they're gonna go. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I haven't done that in a little while. I haven't used the Spawn gimmick in a little bit, but you never know when the Spawn's gonna come crawling out of the pits of hell.
100%. All right. Next pick.
Powerbomb.
Looks like a powerbomb.
Powerbomb. Yeah, they call me the powerbomb of powerbomb.
All right. The last picture we got is probably one of the most impactful ones, and someone I know created it. Brian F. Pro created his Pride representation, and there you are up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth row down from the top. So what does this mean to you? This compilation?
That's honestly like since the first time he started doing that, and he put me in one of those, it's been an honor for me to be included in that, because I feel like that's what he tries to do, is everyone's included, everyone of all color, shape, sexualities, whatever. But like he and I have the same viewpoint in wrestling, and that is wrestling is for everyone.
Yes.
And it's funny. I actually just met Brian. I just met him at a recent Battle Club event I was at.
Oh, okay.
He's a great guy. He's real cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
He's real talented with these photos.
Collages,
too.
yeah. And he does graphics and all that other stuff too. So shout out to him. Now I know a couple people in this poster.
Yeah, I know a couple people as well. The world of wrestling is so huge.
It is huge.
If you don't know them, you've seen them, and if you haven't seen them at some point, you will know them. So,
right. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to some of my pals over there. Anastasia Morningstar on the bottom. Eris Spiral. Let me go about Anastasia for a moment, man. She just came back from an injury. She's all over the United States and Puerto Rico and all that, man. And I'm so proud of her, man. So much kudos to her. Who else you recognize here?
Well, it's funny. You said Anastasia. I just met her too.
Did you really?
I did. She and I ran into each other in Brooklyn when I was down there for Battle Club. I had another event the next day. That's where I met her. Her and I worked the same show, and her and I had a pretty enlightening conversation, to say the least. So I can definitely vouch. She's a very, very cool girl. She's very interesting, and I love her look, hands down. I feel like she had the best look of everybody on the card that night.
She does have a great look.
She does. She absolutely
and
does.
She's tough, man. She's really tough.
She is. She's a hardcore hitter. Love that for her.
So what does pride mean to you?
Oh, goodness. What does pride mean to me? So it's funny. I can confidently say that at 27 years old, I just kind of recently learned the answer to that question.
Okay.
And it took, that weekend I was down there in New York. I was wrestling pride events that entire weekend. And, I kind of went down there with a more set of opened eyes. And the more I looked around and kind of took in the scenes and had a better understanding of what everybody else was doing, I can kind of look around and say, like, okay, this makes more sense, like, versus what I was doing the last couple of years, because I've been kind of ran by like depression and anxiety, and I just kind of ignored the whole, oh, it's Pride Month, blah, 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 blah. I kind of ignored that for several years. Like, this was the first year where I kind of embraced Pride Month, and I was like, this is who I am, and this is, something that everybody around me celebrates, and I should, take part in this. I shouldn't ignore it. I shouldn't feel ashamed to take part in Pride Month. And what I can say pride means to me is that it really doesn't matter if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're a lesbian, trans, bisexual. Just be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you accomplished. Be proud of what you've done. Be proud of what your plans are. Be proud. Because at the end of the day, you only have you. You only are you. You can only be you. So you might as well be proud of you, no matter if you have done this much or if you've done this much or whatever the case may be. Just, it's very important to just be proud of yourself, to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you.
Good. That's a good comment. 100%. Serena, what advice might you give to someone who is struggling to come out to their friends and family?
Oh, well, my best advice for anyone struggling to come out to friends or family is timing is important. It is your best friend. And if you are not ready, it's okay. You do it at your time. You do it at your pace. You do it when you're ready. As somebody who came out publicly in front of my whole school on a microphone to my entire class, I wasn't ready. I was more or less led by an emotional charge. So I came out very soon, and I wasn't ready to deal with the repercussions of what happens when you come out of the closet. And like I said, here I am now, 27 years old, kind of just accepting everything for what it is. So even though I came out at a young age, it took me to now to sit here and say, I'm a gay man, and that's not going to change. So timing is very important. Do it when you're ready and when you are most comfortable and confident in yourself.
Awesome. All right. Man, I can't believe this is your first podcast.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast before. I've never really gotten the invitation to one, so I got very excited when I got the invite to this. I was like, that's new.
Man, that's awesome, man. I'm very very surprised, to be honest with you. That all the stuff you've been doing, I'm surprised nobody has reached out to you.
Well,
kudos for us though.
I mean, you say of all the stuff that you're doing, I don't always feel like I'm doing enough, because it's like, even just here today, this is all I'm doing is a podcast. I'm talking to you. I've been laying on my bed the majority of my day watching Superstore or going back and forth between Superstore and classical wrestling.
Nice.
So I don't do a whole lot, and I'm kind of at a sit still right now until.
I mean, watching classical wrestling is working though. You're studying.
I mean, I do. I've been watching a lot of my Sensational Sherry. I'm kind of big on her right now.
Oh, no doubt, she's awesome.
Oh, she's a legend. I watched a lot of Mickie James too, because I don't know if you've seen my bottle at all, but this is the Mickie James Masterclass.
Oh, okay.
I did take a little course with her, and she's part of the reason why I started watching a lot of the early 80s and 90s women's wrestling, because I already was a big fan of women's wrestling as it was.
Right.
And she suggested, if you want to learn more like, old school stuff and still have your love for women's wrestling, here, watch this. Here's these names. And I'm like, awesome. And like I said, I've been big on Sensational Sherry ever since, Rockin' Robin, all those names from the early 80s. And it was, Mickie James is somebody else, honestly. I can sit here and say, icon, legend, love her.
Yes.
Glad I got to learn from her. That course that I took from her was no joke. It was brutal.
Was it? Oh,
well, it was a combination of like actual education and her teaching you her ways.
Right.
So learning from Mickie James, learning her physicality, learning how she wrestles, how she works. Yeah, I would say right now that was brutal, but it was very educational.
Okay. What was the? I'm sure you had a chance to talk to her. What was the best advice she gave you?
The best advice she gave me? There was a lot. But I think the one thing that stood out to me the most was she said to keep being me and to keep being unapologetic about it.
Okay.
Because that was one thing that I even today I still struggle with in the ring, is just being leery about things I do because I don't want to offend the audience or I don't want to offend the person I'm working with. But then it's those times where I do let go and I'm just doing whatever I feel is right. And I have, what I would say are not what I would say are like, the best matches I have. So that advice stood out because she was right. When I'm just unapologetically myself, and when I'm not putting all this pressure on myself of worrying about what they think, worrying about what my coaches are going to think, because I'm a people pleaser. I can't help it.
Right.
I don't want to come backstage and have people say, oh, that was terrible, or that was what. I can't. That gets to me. So being unapologetically myself is probably the best advice Mickie James could have given me.
Okay. Serena says if you could pick one era of wrestling to go back to, which era would you choose?
If I could pick one era of wrestling to go back to, that's a tough question to answer. So it's it's got to be a toss-up between the Attitude Era and I'm not quite sure what they were calling the era at the time, but like when I first started watching wrestling, and it was like, I'm gonna call it when it started being WWE. When the Attitude Era, I'm gonna go with Attitude Era.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had to sit here and pick one, it's Attitude Era, because that's when there wasn't all like things weren't PG. They were cussing. They were doing sex stuff.
Everything.
It was. That was a great time to watch wrestling, okay?
Hey, her, Bobby.
We're being honest with each other. That was a great time to watch wrestling.
That was a great time to watch wrestling. I agree. DX.
Oh, yeah. Degeneration X, China. Like, that whole entire era, I think is what... I don't want to say this. It's not going to... I want to word this correctly. that entire era, I think, is what gave me inspiration to want to say wrestling is cool and I want to pursue it. And yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
Okay, wrestling is cool. Got it. Oh man, we covered so much ground.
We have. I talk fast. I know.
I gotta ask you some standard questions really quick. What is going on here? Blocks. Absolutely was. I'm still trying to recreate the edge and lead a segment with someone. Good evening.
That part.
Only Blocks would say that. Blocks is a professional wrestler up here in the Northeast.
Okay, but that was still an iconic moment. Like,
it was an iconic
I could
moment.
do something like that, I swear. Just something along those lines in any ring, I would in a heartbeat.
All right, let me ask you how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
Well, that goes back to the other question about the eras. Because originally, when I first started watching wrestling, for me, it was the Divas. I got hooked onto wrestling. At the time, I think I would have been like 7, 8 years old. I don't even know how old I was, but
wow.
My mom had a boyfriend who watched wrestling, and I didn't pay much attention to it because at the time I thought sports were barbaric. Like watching grown men beat each other up. You know, I was that kid who played with Barbie dolls. So, you know, watching sports was not that fun for me until I saw Trish Stratus come out with the belt. And I saw Christy Hemme come out, and then I saw Trish Stratus kick her in the head. And then I became hooked onto watching it because I saw women doing it. And then they had a match at WrestleMania, and that's kind of where the love started because I watched all of WrestleMania. I saw all the matches, and that's kind of when I fell in love with wrestling, and I had to start watching it weekly. And my mom's boyfriend and I, we watched pay-per-views every Sunday that they were on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was quite a love story for me.
It usually is a love story when you start watching wrestling, man. It just sucks you in.
Yeah, it does. It does. It gets you. It gets you, and then you just don't ever want to. Even when you're already a wrestler, you still don't want to let it go.
That's awesome. All right, let's go into where did you go train, and who are your trainers, and what were your thoughts during that initial training?
So I trained at MCW, Maryland Championship Wrestling. I've had a handful of trainers there. Ones that stick out, Drolix, the Mecca, and Ken Dixon. Okay. They've all taught me extensive things about wrestling throughout my time there. I've shared the ring with the Mecca and Ken Dixon. And my thoughts on those three are they are probably the smartest men I've ever come to meet in wrestling so far.
Okay. All right. Next question. If you could have a match with someone you haven't had a match with, who would it be? And we'll stick to the indies for now, and then we'll do then do a dream one. Or if you got more than one, you can say more than one.
No. So indies. Ironically, there's 2 people on the indies I would love to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
And these are probably very basic answers as I am a gay wrestler. But Sunny Kiss is one.
Okay.
And Effie would be the other.
Okay.
Sunny Kiss is someone that I took a lot of inspiration from lately. And I have met her one time, and the thought of sharing the ring with Sunny Kiss, while intimidating, it is definitely a dream match, I feel, for me. Effie, he's a gay pioneer. I think all gay wrestlers would love that honor of sharing the ring with him just to test their abilities, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Effie's just a great wrestler in general, too.
Oh, he really is. He's a machine. Like, I'm not even gonna get into that because watching him is.
All right.
I get a little anxious sometimes. I'm like, this dude is crazy. But like he does it in a way that like you don't want to stop watching. Like
You don't?
Yeah, you get the point. The man's crazy, but I would love to work with him one day.
I do get the point. Oh, hold on. Blocks has got a good quote here. Sunny Kiss is amazing. She trained me and is the reason I actually moonsault. Fun fact. See, Blocks, you never told me that.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah.
Early.
Well, Sunny Kiss is on my list of getting her on here, so she's on my list. So is Effie.
Get them both on here and just name drop me to them. No,
We're working it. We're working on it. We're working on it. Well, we could do something. Maybe we'll have you just come on and just say hello to them.
Yeah, hi guys.
How about that?
Hi, Chris.
Like, I want to bring to you a fellow wrestler. We'll do a new segment. I want to bring to you a fellow wrestler, such as yourself, who wants to just say hello.
Yeah, I just want to say hi. That's all.
I think that was good. That would be a good segment.
Yeah, why not?
Hold on. Blocks has come out to the East Coast. I'll introduce you to. Okay.
I'll keep that in mind.
Keeping in mind. Oh, Nix. What's up, Nix?
Oh, Nix is here?
Yeah, Nix is here.
Hi, Nix. I haven't seen you since the Mickey James class.
Oh, man. She's a friend as well to the show.
Oh,
Right,
Nix
Serena?
is a goddess.
Yes.
I love her.
Yeah, we all love Nix. She's awesome, man. Hopefully, Nix will get signed soon. She's,
Honest
that,
to God,
that
Nix
good.
is I would love to wrestle with one day too. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, you hear that, Nix? She'll answer in a moment. All right, let's go into. Oh, hold on. She did answer. Jadis is one of the baddest to ever do it. There you go.
I'll take it.
I'm sure there'll be a match somewhere along the way. She said, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. Serena says Nix is absolutely amazing. She's a powerhouse. New York definitely needs some Nix. Yeah, we'd love to see Nix up here in New York. Got some great companies up here. So we'll keep you in mind, Nix. Spread your name up here. All right, let's go into the biggest person you wanted to wrestle outside of the Indies.
Oh my.
I'm already thinking two names in my head that you sprouted out earlier.
Well, there are two names, and I don't know how, like if this is just like dream matches that I'm talking about. So one over there in AEW would be Action Andretti.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, shocker, big shocker. I spent some time getting to know him. I got to watch him when I was coming up training. So, and I never got the opportunity to work with him before he did go off. And for me, it would just be honestly the biggest test of my entire skill. I've always been a fan of him, even when I was just coming up through the ranks. And I don't know, I've always thought it'd be a really big clash of styles. It'd be an interesting little mix of, this high flying and demonic energy clashing. I don't know. It'd be interesting to me. Now, the match that kind of like has something in my heart and that it's an intergender match, but preferably I would always love to have wrestled Gigi Dolan, Priscilla Kelly, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
I know she's like not this, what do you want to call it? I feel like she's underrated. She deserves a lot more. She deserves to be at the top. She deserves to be a top player. And she was a big influence on me because she very much did not care what people thought. And she did things her way. And she did things however she wanted. And just her wrestling alone, like a masterpiece. It's like a combination of seduction meets Daniel Bryan.
Right.
It's just like the perfect combination to me. And I don't know, wrestling with her, having a match with her has always, even when she was on the indies and when I was just dreaming of being a wrestler, she is somebody I've always wanted to wrestle with.
Now, I thought you were going to say Mickey James and Trish Stratus.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Those two obviously are on the list, but like, I don't know. There's something about Gigi Dolan. I don't know what you want to call her. I will always know her as Priscilla Kelly because that's how I met her. That's how I saw her, and she was my it girl. Like she was my Charlotte Flair. She was the girl I was a huge fan of, and when other people were watching the Bellas, I was watching the Indies, watching Priscilla Kelly.
Okay.
Can I say I was a big fan of the controversy. I was a big fan of the chaos. That's one thing I love about her. Like she
did the tampon thing.
She did, and I will always say that was iconic because
that is iconic.
She got the best reaction. Some people were disgusted and pissed off. Others were like, you know, there's been much worse things to happen. And I feel like that's the energy that I bring today whenever I'm in the ring is I have half the crowd upset, disgusted, and absolutely freaking out. And the other half saying, there is much worse than this, calm down. And that's where I took a lot of my energy from because the girl was just perfect to me.
I definitely think she's way underutilized right now. I know she's injured right now, but even before that, she's been way underutilized.
She should have been champ so many times by now, but we won't talk about that. Let's That's just me being a mark for us. Let me stop.
All right, so let everybody know what's your favorite food, man. What do you like to eat?
Oh goodness! Now we're just talking about favorite foods. No, I'm just kidding.
Favorite foods.
I would have to say my favorite food of all time is tacos of any kind. I love tacos. I'm not gonna get all this go on some long story about it. I love tacos, man. I can eat homemade tacos.
Is there one specific taco place you're like, man, this is really good?
My mom's kitchen.
Your mom's kitchen, all right. Yeah. Homemade.
Hers.
Hers specifically.
Just hers. Not mine. No, not anybody else's. Just hers.
Just hers. Okay. All right. I feel that way.
Else's. I like mine, but hers is the one. If I want them and I'm craving them, you know.
I feel the same way with my mom's cooking. All right.
Plus, it's free. I don't gotta pay for that.
It's free. That's right. I love it when my mom makes flan for me. Oh, it's so good.
I've never had flan yet, but it's
so good.
I am a picky one, okay? Like I've always thought flan was just weird looking, but
it's so good. If it's done right, it's so good. Like I've had some bad flan, but nothing beats my mom's. All right, what about snacks? What do you like to snack on?
Everything.
Everything?
I'm a big snacker. Like that's all I do is snack. It's pretty. For a wrestler, I have a very terrible diet. I'm not even gonna lie. All I do is snack. I snack on chips. I snack on, and I do make a lot of snacks too. Like like I make homemade Lunchables sometimes, like meats, cheese, and crackers. I snack on a lot of stuff. I can't.
Okay. Well, what about some of the shows you're watching besides Superstore and Wrestling Classics?
See, that's the funny part. I don't really watch TV.
Really?
I really don't watch TV. Like, there's one show that I have binge watched a million times over. That's it's called Slasher. It's basically just every season it's like a movie / TV show, and it's like, you know, there's a killer loose, everyone's dying, in the end the mask comes off, big reveal. I love slasher movies, and it's the perfect TV show, so it's just that's all I need. And when there's no new seasons on, I'm not really watching anything else. So other than wrestling.
Other than wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is the one product of wrestling that you watch? Probably would you say the most?
The one product of wrestling?
Is it WWE?
Actually, no.
Okay. No. So what is it?
I watch a lot of. So I'm a big TNA fan. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
But I think I stopped being a huge like WWE fan around the time I started training, and I never got into AEW. And I'm still a very big loyal person when it comes to like indie women's wrestling. I do watch a lot of like those compilations on YouTube, but the main product I think I watch is TNA because I've been a loyal fan of TNA since I think 2008.
Okay. Who's some of your favorites in TNA?
Ooh. We got Rosemary, we've got Gail Kim, we've got Jackie Moore back in the day, Robert Roode back in the day, Styles, Angle, Sabian. I was kind of a fan of him, but that was more of a crush more than his wrestling. I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie. Shark Boy, I was a fan of. Kong. I can go on and on all day. Honestly, I really could.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest when I say it. But when Booker T and Sharmell left WWE and went to TNA, I was very much happy with that because I love the Main Event Mafia for some reason.
Yeah, that was good.
TNA knew how to do stables. I don't know. I can't explain it. Just stables and factions in TNA were always on point. I don't know why, but they were.
Okay. Right. I'm a big Masha Slamovich fan. Maybe I'm a little biased because she's out here from New York and I've met her a couple of times.
I've never met her, but I have seen a video of her and Gia Scott wrestling. So that was a really good match. I'm not going to sit here and tell a lie. But she does seem like she's cool, and I am a fan of her wrestling. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome. All right, so last question. What does 2024 look like for you the rest of the year?
Well, if we're being honest, the rest of 2024 for me is just healing. You know,
okay.
Without getting too deep and too sentimental and too personal, I've been through a rough couple of years, and I thought getting into wrestling would fix everything, and obviously it didn't. It just kind of distracted me from everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I have recently gone through a lot of life-changing events, and the rest of this year is just going to be one big healing journey for me. And in terms of wrestling, I'm hoping that this is a year where things start getting a little bit busier for me, which I did finally get booked somewhere new, and that was at Battle Club. So yeah,
good stuff.
It is good stuff. It is good stuff, and I'm being hopeful that this healing journey, this process that I'm gonna go through, is an easy one, and I go into 2025 stronger and better than I've ever been.
All right, let everybody know where they get your merch, Jadis, and where they can follow you.
See, don't have merch because I'm a loser.
Oh, you need merch, man.
I know. I'm working on it.
Okay, good.
I'm a very broke person who works as hard as they can, but I got bills and rent to pay, and that's all I can say. But you can still find me on Instagram. My social is DJ Quinn XOXO, and I am on Facebook under just Jadis Quinn. So yeah, you can follow me there. I do try my best to keep up with social media. Not the best at it though, but I try my best because it's 2024 and that's all our lives is social media.
That's all you can do is try. 100%. All right. Thank you, Jadis, for coming on the podcast.
Well,
Number one,
thank you so much for having me. This has been such an honor. Honestly,
it's been an honor for me to have you on, brother, as your first podcast.
Yes.
Also, just to have you on in general. It was great talking to you.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. Coming up next for me, I have at 9 o'clock the Moonshiners right there.
Oh, goodness.
This one's going to be crazy. I could already tell.
They look like a fun group of guys.
Yeah. Jason, I know I haven't met the other guys yet, but I'm going to meet them tonight, and it's going to be quite the interesting night. I also want to thank Facebook for once again recognizing me as a rising creator. That's multiple weeks in a row. They give this title out every week, and I just keep getting this honor, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the support from everybody who is supporting me. Thank you very much.
Round of applause.
Yeah, thank you, brother. After that, I have Chosen Pro Wrestling coming up, Mayhem on the Midway, and that is coming up on Friday, July 12th at the Ocean County Fair right here in New Jersey. My brother, PJ Savage, is front and center. He'll be defending his championship that night. Also, All-in-One Michael Fain will be there. Cooper Valentine, Jorge La Bestia, Giorgio Lawrence, Abs, Clipper Jones, and so much more. This Friday, July 12th. Not this Friday, July 12th, but next Friday, July 12th. At the Ocean County Fair. And then the following day will be Titan Championship Wrestling presents American Spirit, where once again PJ Savage will be wrestling Adam Ace from the Deadly Sins, who is part of Blox's group over there in Titan Championship Wrestling, and that is also at the Ocean County Fair, and it's just free admission to the show. Just come in to pay to get into the fair, and you get a free wrestling show on both days. So that is awesome for Titan Championship Wrestling to do for everybody at the fair. Whew. After that, we got Constant Pro Wrestling live at the Sayreville High School, where Jay Lethal will be in action that night, as well as Valentina Vasquez takes on Goddess champion Amity LaVey, who's making a name for herself up here in the Northeast. Anthony Gangone, the one and only Homicide, will be there, and much, much more. Go to Constant Wrestling right now to get your tickets for that event. Whew. I got quite the month going on, bud.
That was a mouthful there.
I know, man. I'm out of breath, man. All right, thank everybody for watching. Oh, I've been trying to reach you, girl. Call me. What? I think you were talking to Serena, not me. Well, I thank everybody who was watching us on Facebook, including Dante King. What is up, brother? Joe Trash was there as well. Thank you very much, Jadis. Hold on for a second, everybody else. I'll see